Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. Now, you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of anywhere else? And that's because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They say this all the time. They talk down to us. They don't read any of the other comments. But I think it's the opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we all really want to be part of and are excited to engage with. And I think we're well on our way to doing it. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of The Herd with Colin Cowherd talking about Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl. Colin has been at this for a while, saying that Brock Purdy's not that good, he's not special, this, that, and the third. I haven't watched this clip yet, but I just did the first half of this, and now I'm doing the second half. And when I was kind of trying to time it up, I could see that he said "fool's gold" or whatever about Brock Purdy. And I just think that's just not fair. Yes, compared to Patrick Mahomes is on another level, but that's just not a fair assessment. I think Brock Purdy played a great Super Bowl, showed so much heart, poise, made some unbelievable throws, and that weren't even catches because they were either just knocked down by the defense, or whatever the situation was. But he really stepped up. Was he able to get the full job done at the end of the day? No, but I just don't necessarily blame him. Do I believe Brock Purdy is a quarterback that you can just get on his back and he will lead you to a championship like a Patrick Mahomes? No, I do not. But the truth is Patrick Mahomes is one of one. So that's an unfair comparison. Brock Purdy proved to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He just did. Just being able to stay composed is something that I haven't seen other quarterbacks do. And he didn't make any mistakes. He didn't make any true mistakes that I could really point to and be like, oh my God, what was that? Patrick Mahomes made mistakes, and Patrick Mahomes was still able to win. And so I want to see what Colin has to say, and we'll go from there. But then I have a handful of key points that I really would like to point out. So let's get to it.
So let's talk Brock Purdy, who I have said, and I view it as a compliment for the kid, he's good. Special wins these games. Ask yourself yesterday, who was really great for San Francisco? Bosa, Christian McCaffrey. I thought Fred Warner. They were great. Brock Purdy was good. I know you want him to be a star, but again,
I just wanted to pause real fast because that's not fair. You're comparing those players to their positions who will go down as probably one of the best players at their respective positions. So it's just not fair to be like, well, unless Brock Purdy goes down in books as one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL, that's just not fair. It's just not a fair, comparison. It's so I don't get the point.
He's a kid and the last guy picked. On third down, the Super Bowl winning down, he was 3 for 12. Against the blitz, he was bad, a 77 passer rating and completed less than 50%. He couldn't get the ball to Debo or George Kittle or Brandon Ayuk. He was able to get the ball to the person he handed it off to. He had a chance to win this game. It was 3rd and 5, 16 all. He makes that first down. They bleed the clock, and they're probably Super Bowl champions. Mahomes made that play over and over. Purdy had a shot, and it didn't work. They gave the ball to Mahomes with 2 timeouts and about $1.50 left. It was over. Purdy deserves credit for being composed in the first half. I was impressed. But despite dominating the first half, the only touchdown pass thrown by San Francisco was by a wide receiver. Purdy is good, but good didn't beat Mahomes yesterday.
But that's also just not fair because Patrick Mahomes, they didn't score points until the final 2 minutes in the entire first half with Patrick Mahomes. So again, if you're going to make a dig at Purdy for something like that, then the same has to go to Patrick Mahomes. And again, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Not disputing that, making no argument against that. My point is we have to be consistent with the critiques that we're making.
Good was blown out by Lamar Jackson earlier this year. Good was blown out by Joe Burrow this year. Those, along with Josh Allen, are the best quarterbacks in football. and he's not beating them. Ask yourself this. San Francisco lost momentum in the third quarter. No Niner fan would deny that. Ask yourself, why? What happened? Because they stopped giving it to Christian McCaffrey, the
And
soul
why?
of the team. He had 2
Why?
carries. And inexplicably, they let Brock Purdy run the offense 11 dropbacks. And suddenly, against the relentless Steve Spagnuolo blitzing defense, they gave Kansas City the momentum. Special wins Super Bowl.
And that's on Kyle Shanahan, though. That is. Why did they abandon the run? Why did they abandon what was working for them? And Romo pointed out. Romo was dumbfounded. He was like, "This can't happen. Why are you just dropping back and throw? What did Patrick Mahomes use to get going? Pacheco. He handed the ball off, or he then, ran himself for a really big key play for a big first down that they needed. I'll keep forgetting if it was a third down or fourth down, but it was a gotta have it down. Patrick Mahomes fakes the handoff and runs himself, which was a great play dialed up by Andy Reid and executed perfectly by Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy was more than capable of making that, of doing something like that. Shanahan didn't dial it up. I don't really get it. And I said this last week, that it's going to come down to Shanahan. I believe Brock Purdy will be able to play good ball, and it's up to Shanahan to put Purdy in a situation to succeed. He did that in the beginning, in the first half. He got Brock Purdy going, and he did exactly what I said. High percentage throws, get Christian McCaffrey going, get everyone settled. Don't just expect some, kid who looks like he's barely even gone through puberty yet, to just go up against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Make things easy. And again, that's not, a dig at Purdy by no means. Do that to any young quarterback. Don't put it all, any young player in general, and they didn't do that. They did that in the first half, and then they abandoned it in the third. And I don't understand why. And again, if I'm dumbfounded and Tony Romo, ex-quarterback who knows the game way better than me, is dumbfounded by it, it's just like, I don't understand what Shanahan was thinking in that regard. But at the same time, I understand if you want to say that Brock Purdy's not special. And it depends how we want to define special. I would say he's special emotionally and mentally, which I think is really, really crucial, because a lot of players do not have that. A lot of quarterbacks do not have that. He proved to have that, which is great. And you have to imagine that he's going to continue to get better. This is his first full season as a starting quarterback, and only his second season in the league. Okay, so you have to imagine he's going to continue to get better. Do I think he's going to surpass a Joe Burrow or a Josh Allen in terms of skill set and just overall talent? I do not. Those players have proven to just be athletic and just physical freaks. And you can't compete with that. Seriously, Josh Allen is a freak. And you give him a coach like Shanahan and those weapons, he will play unbelievably amazing. Don't take that as an insult or at a dig at Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy still proved to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He just did. He gave his team an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. Other quarterbacks in the past have not proven to be able to do that. Dak Prescott has not proven to be able to do that at the highest level. Can he do it in other games? Of course. He's an NFL quarterback. But when the game really matters, did he give the Packers, the game against the Packers, did he give them, the Cowboys, a chance to win that game? He did not. No matter how bad their defense played, he still did not put them in a good situation. Brock Purdy put the 49ers in a situation where, did he come through big on a couple key third downs? No. But he did it in other games. He did it against the Packers. He did it against the Lions. So on one side, we can't just say, well, he's incapable of doing that because he didn't do it in this game, but then he was able to do it in other games that were just as high intense stakes at that moment in his career, right? At those moments, those were the biggest, moments in his career, until obviously the Super Bowl, and you keep getting higher and higher. So I just don't think it's fair to give him credit 1 minute and then take it away the other minute. And again, if you're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, that Patrick Mahomes can do it consistently, and that's what ultimately makes him special, well then yes, but it's not a fair comparison. It's not a fair comparison to compare every quarterback to Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. You're talking about two of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the universe. So, I mean, what kind of comparison is that? Under that logic, Joe Burrow is a scrub. Under that logic, Josh Allen is a scrub. Under that logic, Peyton Manning is a scrub. So, I mean, Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck couldn't do it. And I know, Colin Cowherd loves Andrew Luck. Well, Andrew Luck wasn't that dude. Couldn't do it. He's just nothing to Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. And I know he doesn't feel that way. And again, I can see how if you had a better quarterback than Brock Purdy, if Brock Purdy was just better than he was right now, you could see how that game would have been easier for the 49ers to win. That they could have pulled it off, that they could have converted on that third down, bled the clock, kicked the field goal, boom, won. You can see that. But that doesn't change that Christian McCaffrey fumbled. That he had nothing to do with that. Doesn't change that you had that weird punt fumble type thing. I don't know if it's considered a fumble because it hit off the leg of the guy. So I don't know if that actually technically ends up being a fumble because it hit him and he just didn't get it. You had that punt play, the missed extra point, the weird coin flip where they didn't take the ball first. They took the ball. I mean, they didn't take the ball second. They took the ball first, which is absolutely asinine and insane, and abandoning the run. None of that had to do anything with Brock Purdy. And if those things happen, if just half those things didn't happen, if just one of those things didn't happen, Brock Purdy is a Super Bowl winner. So it's just not the full story, as it never is. And you have to really kind of look and see what you watched. Brock Purdy really proved to be a really, really good quarterback, good to great quarterback. He made some unbelievable throws in the biggest stage and really didn't make any mistakes. I'm failing to really see any mistakes that he made, quite honestly. And like I said, could he have been technically better? Sure. But is that why they lost? No. And honestly, it's just not fair to say so. The 49ers lost that game, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs winning that game. No team truly just took it. The Kansas City Chiefs didn't impose their will. But Patrick Mahomes, when they needed him, came up big. Travis Kelce, when they needed him, came up big. Pacheco came up big. Andy Reid proves just to be a continued genius, play calling genius, play design genius. And Spags had great defense, but it wasn't the defense that caused that punt fumble. It wasn't the defense that even caused Christian McCaffrey's fumble. It wasn't the defense that caused the missed extra point. That was not a blocked extra point. It was a bad kick. They even talked about it in the program. That was a bad kick. That was on the field goal kicker. That wasn't just great defense. So, and the coin flip. I still don't understand the coin flip. I can't make sense of that. So, I don't know. But what do you all think? How do you think Brock Purdy played? Did Brock Purdy prove that he was special, or did he prove that he's just not good enough to get the job done? Let me know in the comments below. Would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Please don't forget to subscribe. As I said, we are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.